To fully comprehend the depth of this enduring rivalry, one must delve into the complex landscape of the past, where political dynamics, cultural differences, and religious beliefs interweave. Understanding the historical context of the Bible is paramount. It's like a multifaceted gemstone. Each facet reflects a different aspect of the story, contributing to the overall brilliance of the narrative. The Philistine-Israelite conflicts, a recurring theme in the Old Testament, offer us a glimpse into the trials and tribulations of a bygone era, a testament to human resilience in the face of adversity. Today, we will delve deep into the annals of history to unravel this mystery. So, grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's embark on this fascinating journey together. To understand any conflict, we first need to understand the historical background of the parties involved. So who were the Philistines and the Israelites? The Philistines, believed to have originated from the Aegean region, were a group of people who settled along the eastern Mediterranean coast, in a region known as Canaan during the Late Bronze Age. The area they inhabited, known as Philistia, consisted of 5 major cities: Gaza, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Ekron, and Gath. The Philistines were known for their advanced technological skills, particularly in ironworking, which gave them a military advantage. On the other hand, we have the Israelites, a Semitic-speaking people who resided in the highlands of Canaan, an area which later came to be known as Israel. The Israelites were a tribal society, initially made up of 12 tribes, and were characterized by their monotheistic belief in Yahweh. They were primarily agricultural, contrasting with the Philistines who were more urban and cosmopolitan. Geographically, the Philistines and Israelites were neighbors. The Philistine cities were situated along the coastal plain of what is now Israel and the Gaza Strip, while the Israelite tribes occupied the hill country to the east. This meant that the two groups were in close proximity, sharing borders and resources. Culturally, however, these two groups were quite distinct. The Philistines, with their Aegean roots, brought with them a different language, art style, and religious practices, worshipping a pantheon of gods headed by Dagon. The Israelites, on the other hand, held firmly to their monotheistic belief, and their culture was heavily influenced by their religious laws and traditions. These geographical and cultural characteristics set the stage for inevitable clashes. The close proximity meant competition for resources, and their distinct cultures and religious beliefs often led to misunderstandings and tensions. This geographical proximity and cultural differences were the initial sparks to the long-standing conflicts. The Bible, particularly the Old Testament, holds many accounts of the conflicts between these two nations. One of the most well-known accounts is the story of Samson and Delilah. Samson, an Israelite with superhuman strength, was a thorn in the side of the Philistines. He single-handedly wreaked havoc on them, and they were desperate to eliminate him. Delilah, a Philistine woman, was used as a trap to discover the secret of Samson's strength, which was his uncut hair. Once she found out, she betrayed him, leading to his capture and eventual death, a clear illustration of the treachery and deceit that marked the Philistine-Israelite conflict. Another prominent account is the story of David and Goliath. Goliath was a Philistine giant, a fearsome warrior who challenged the Israelites to a one-on-one combat. The Israelites were terrified, but a young shepherd named David stepped up. With a single stone and a sling, he struck down Goliath, instantly becoming a hero in Israel and a nightmare to the Philistines. This story showcases the courage and faith of the Israelites in the face of overwhelming odds. There's also the story of Saul and the Amalekites. Saul, the first king of Israel, was commanded by God to annihilate the Amalekites, a neighboring nation allied with the Philistines. However, Saul disobeyed, sparing their king and taking spoils of war, which eventually led to his downfall. This account underscores the divine mandate the Israelites believed they had in their struggles against their enemies, including the Philistines. These biblical accounts reveal a pattern of intense rivalry and constant power struggle between the Philistines and the Israelites. They were locked in a seemingly endless cycle of conflict, marked by victories and defeats on both sides. Religious beliefs, cultural differences, and territorial disputes fueled their animosity, making peace a distant dream. These stories illustrate the intense rivalry and constant power struggle between the Philistines and the Israelites. Religion played a significant role in the conflicts between the Philistines and the Israelites. Let's delve into how the religious differences between these two nations often led to conflicts. The Philistines and the Israelites, although neighbors, had distinct religious beliefs that separated them. The Philistines were known to worship a pantheon of gods, with Dagon, the god of fertility and grain, at the helm. The Israelites, on the other hand, were monotheistic, worshipping only one god. Yahweh. This fundamental difference in religious practices often led to misunderstandings and disputes. Religious practices were not just personal beliefs, but they were deeply ingrained in the societal structures, laws, and overall worldview of both nations. These practices dictated how they saw themselves and others. Each group believed they were the chosen ones, favored by their respective deities, which further widened the chasm between them. The Israelites believed that they were the chosen people of Yahweh, destined to inhabit the Promised Land. Whenever they faced opposition from the Philistines, they saw it as a religious war, a battle for their divine right. The Philistines, on the other hand, saw their victories as proof of the power and favor of their gods, reinforcing their belief in their superiority. These religious differences not only led to disputes but also shaped their political decisions. Alliances, treaties, and even declarations of war were often influenced by their religious beliefs. The Philistines and Israelites interpreted their victories and defeats in religious terms, attributing success to divine favor and failure to divine displeasure. Religion was not merely a private affair, but a public and national one. It defined identities, shaped policies, and guided actions. It was an integral part of their lives and a significant factor in their conflicts. In conclusion, religion was more than just a set of beliefs for the Philistines and the Israelites. It was a way of life, a lens through which they viewed the world. It was a source of pride and identity, but also a cause for division and conflict. Religion thus acted as a dividing factor, further fueling the hostility between these two nations. As with all conflicts, the ones between the Philistines and the Israelites eventually came to an end. The tides of time are unstoppable, and so too was the inevitable change on the horizon for these two warring factions. The Israelites' path to dominance was not sudden nor swift, but was instead a gradual shift in power that marked the end of the Philistine era. The Israelites, under the leadership of Kings David and Solomon, were able to consolidate their power and establish a united kingdom. This was a period of significant growth and development for the Israelites, with the establishment of Jerusalem as their capital and the construction of the first temple. They became a force to be reckoned with, not just militarily, but also culturally and religiously. Meanwhile, the Philistines began to lose their grip on power. The exact reasons for their decline are still shrouded in mystery, but historians believe it was a combination of factors that led to their downfall. Political instability, internal strife, and the changing power dynamics in the region all played a part. As the Israelites became more powerful, the Philistines began to disappear from the pages of history. They became a part of the nations they once fought against, blending into the fabric of the larger geopolitical landscape. The Philistines, once a formidable adversary to the Israelites, were no more. But it's important to remember that the Philistines weren't just erased. Their impact on the region and the Israelites were significant. They challenged the Israelites, forcing them to unite and strengthen. Their influence can still be seen today in the cultural and historical narratives of the region. The story of the Philistines and the Israelites is a testament to the ever-changing tides of history. It's a story of power, conflict, and ultimately, transformation. It's a reminder that no matter how entrenched a conflict may seem, change is always possible. The power dynamic shifted, and so did the course of history. Understanding the conflicts between the Philistines and the Israelites gives us a deeper insight into the historical context of the Bible. We've delved into the rich historical background, unearthing the roots of the hostility that persisted for centuries. We've examined the biblical accounts, the narratives that recorded these rivalries, capturing the complexities of human relations and divine interventions. We've also considered the role of religion, a powerful force that shaped the identities of these ancient peoples, often acting as a catalyst for conflict. And lastly, we've reflected on the end of these conflicts, a culmination of shifting power dynamics and changing beliefs. These multifaceted interactions between the Philistines and the Israelites offer us a complex tapestry of history, religion, and human nature. By exploring these ancient feuds, we not only understand the Bible better, but also how history shapes the present and the future.